Discipline is not for when life is easy. Discipline is not for when life is easy. Pick your path. So over the last couple of weeks, like about approximately 3 weeks ago, I got the worst news of my life that my mother passed away. And my mother was great. She was phenomenal. I was one of the men in America that was blessed to have a good mom. She was phenomenal. I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss her bad. But the point that I'm trying to make is that life is going to interrupt you. Life is going to interrupt you. You're going to, there's going to be death. There's going to be job changes. It's going to be financial uncertainty, or simply your plans are just going to collapse. And you just have to keep on going forward. You have to, like, whatever you set out your purpose to be, you have to keep on going forward. Like, it's okay to, like, grieve and, whatever you have to do, but you have to keep on going forward. You can't stop. You can't stop. Because when you stop, that's when the enemy wins. And we're victors. We're on the victor path. You're going to take some losses, but all the information that you're going to gather from your losses is going to essentially be a win. So you have to keep on going forward. You have to keep on going forward, and uh, you have to set up a structure. You have to establish a structure. So previously, those who like are subscribed to this channel, you knew that I did womananity, and I talked about the worship of women, the religion of the worship of women in America and the West. And we talk about those dynamics, and sometimes it probably was a little bit, harsh and uh, hypercritical of American and Western women. Sure. But I always also held men accountable as well. And with men, it's like I always talk about your purpose should be way up here. Your pleasures, which are essentially women, if you think about it, your pleasures, yeah, they come and they go. And you don't center your life around your pleasures. You center your desires. You center your life around your purpose. Your purpose is way up here. And you have to have a great purpose and to have it make sense over time, you have to establish a structure around it. And you have to make your structure indefensible. Or like not really a fortress, but something that it can't be easily damaged or destroyed from the outside. You have to have routine. Uh, you have to, whatever your purpose is, again, my mom died 3 weeks ago. The day that she died, I was at work, a job that I was working at the time. And right after it, I went to martial arts and trained. And it hurt. It is the Nothing comes close to hurting as much as when I found out my mom died 3 weeks ago. Nothing comes close. I don't know if anything in life will, but I kept going. I had to keep on going. And like in life, you have to keep on going. Don't stop. I went to training anyway. And, one of the harshest realities too is that this is hard, but it's not really hard, but hard to accept and like rationalize. But as much as I love my mom, and as I'm happy for her that she's in a better place, and But like, of course, it hurts that I'm no longer going to be able to talk to her in the physical world. And part of to get over the grief and the sorrow is just to keep busy, keep going. Like, yes, take your time to rest. It doesn't mean around the clock you're working. You get your rest, but keep going, keep busy. It's okay here and there. Like you reflect. Like I had my mom. I remember this. I remember that. But then, you start, if you think about it too much, if you think about and I'm relating this to your problems. I'm not just talking about my mom, but I'm just telling you my psychology of how you deal with the worst of the worst. You, okay, it happened. Sad, it hurts, but you got to keep on going. You got to keep busy and keep active. Don't sit around and create a lane for all those negative thoughts to corrupt you. Because at the end of the day, all of us got to go. And, religion says many different religions say a bunch of things, but, for what is here is great. And I truly believe that there's something a lot more fascinating on the other side. So death happens, it's tough, but, you gotta be happy. You gotta think about the good side about it. And also, it's important to understand that responsibility doesn't pause for grief. You still have your responsibilities. We're here for a reason. Whatever your purpose is, you have to make sure that you are knocking down your responsibilities. Have them prioritize the ABC priority. The A's are the most highest priority. B's are mid priority. C is low priority, and just knock them out. Knock them out. Boom, 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 boom. Like whatever, but aligned with your purpose. But that comes. You have to create a structure. Once you create a structure, okay, to maintain the structure, these are the responsibilities. So grief is real. I'm not saying. And again, I lost my mom 3 weeks ago. Grief is real. It hurts. It hurts, but responsibility is real too. Got to keep on going. Got to be the rock. Got to be the victor. Got to be the victor. Got to be mature. And you can't have forward motion without certainty. Sorry, you are a lot of people try to make forward motion without certainty. A lot of people try to make forward motion without certainty. And, y- there's going to be, you're not going to have all the information. Some things are going to be uncertain. You're going to take some risks. So I'm not saying you're going to have 100% all the answers. But today, I tell some of my friends and family to use AI, and some of them look at me like I'm crazy. Today, not only do we have the internet, but we have AI that is you like we have hyper access to de- detailed and tailored information that could help you elevate in however you want. Now, it doesn't mean to blindly do what AI says. No, you have to have a mind of your own. You have this human touch, and human touch is special, way more special than what AI has. So that's why we have to use it in conjunction. But you can't. You have to use your own mind, your own thoughts, your own feeling, make it combine it and see where it makes sense, what makes sense out of it. But we have it's like it's like a calculator for AI is like a calculator for information tailored to you for virtually anything to help you solve problems. So the point is, we're in a day and age now where it's easier to access information at lightning speed at a higher quality that could provide more certainty. So you can move forward with more certainty. You don't have to be stuck where you are. No, you have access to information. Yeah, you could say, oh, well, a lot of people use it. Okay, what's stopping you? Use it. Compete. Compete. It's not going to be easy. You're not going to be given anything. You have to earn it. But that's why it's rewarding. You're a victor. You have to earn it. So, no complaints, no bitterness, just facts and what your intents are. And like, I've had a rough last 3, 4 weeks. I was at I was trying out a car dealership position. Um, and I decided I didn't really want to sell cars. You know, it I kind of want to be more aligned with helping people with, finances or health. And so I have I'm doing health selling healthcare now. I'm selling healthcare now. I have my I have a new revamp of my publishing company. I have the In Love, starting with the In Love with the Chimera series. I have In Love with the Chimera coming out in a couple of weeks. The definitive version, told it in a more sophisticated way, uh, where it's a power novel. It's a psychological power novel. It's a psychological power novel. It's disguised as a romance novel, but it's a psychological power novel. It focuses on, most romance of like of stories around relationships focus on the romance side of it, but this novel it focuses on the psychological power. Focuses on the power. It's a very fascinating book. Very fascinating. You're never gonna read anything like this. In Love with the Chimera. And then right after that, I have the rough drafts. In Love with the Chimera is 95% done with the rough draft. 95, 96, 97 in that range done with the rough draft. And then after that, it's just, the legalities, I'm going to have it available in ebook and print initially. And that's going to be a masterpiece. Right after that, it's going to go into uh, Fairy Tale Love Monster, which is a follow up, a sequel to In Love with the Chimera. It's a part of the same universe. It's a short story though. And then right after that is going to be In Love with the Dragon, which is essentially part two, full novel of the In Love with the Chimera series. So, and I expect that to be released within the next 2 to 3 months. The whole that the first 3 parts, the first 2.5 parts of the series. So I got that with the publishing. Um, so healthcare, like I'll have my information in the link, so in the description, so you could, if you need healthcare, you want to talk about healthcare, reach out to me. But yeah, we got a lot of big things going on. But before I close, I also want to talk about one last thing, which we'll get into more. Um, I believe in, and this is not fully from me. I've heard Khabib in UFC talk about um kind of like the elevation of from uh discipline to sacrifice, and I'm just going to piggyback off of that. I believe that there's a hierarchy of purpose. There's a hierarchy of purpose. It starts with motivation, then it's discipline, then it's sacrifice. Motivation, discipline, sacrifice. And motivation is, typical, standard. You have to feel some way to do it. You have to feel some way to do it. And it's great, cool, but it's greatly flawed. Mostly, it's more flawed than it is good because, okay, at least you're doing something, yeah, but, you know, what if you don't feel like doing it? What if you don't feel like doing it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years? Then you're going into comfort. Comfort is the enemy. No, you have to embrace discomfort to elevate, to grow. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to go through some pain. Things are going to hurt, but you have to keep on going forward. So that's the flow and motivation. And then you go into discipline, where you're saying that no matter how I feel, I said that I'm going to the gym 4 times a week. I'm going to the gym 4 times a week. No matter how I feel, I said that I'm only eating 2 slices of pizza this week when I've been eating 6 slices of pizza a week. I'm only eating 2 slices of pizza. And then, like, of course, you try to make it realistic. You don't try, by the way. Trying is an attempt to fail, so you don't try. You make it realistic. You make it realistic, and then once you conquer that, once you achieve that goal, sustain it and try to do more. Try. There we go again. Fail. Try. You don't try, you do it. Trying is an attempt to fail. Um, so discipline is a lot better than motivation. It's a lot better than motivation, but it's still, flawed in a sense. It's flawed because um, there's a higher level because you could discipline. Sometimes it could be a routine, and I mean, which routine is good, but once you, sometimes you have to be unpredictable. Sometimes you have to throw people off because they expect a certain reaction from you. They expect this. They don't. They especially once you start to get bigger, people will, like, focus on you more. They're gonna they're gonna double team you, triple team you, make sure they get you out. And they're going to look at your habits and your patterns and study you and figure out what your weaknesses are. So discipline alone can't overcome that. What overcomes that is sacrifice. Sacrifice is when you're now, okay, okay, I have discipline. Yes, I have discipline. I've proven that I'm evolved, graduated from discipline, motivation. I have discipline. But, but this is just like only having a black belt. Yeah, okay, cool. I have a black belt. But now I want to be, okay, I start off as a shodan. I want to be a nidan. I want to be a sensei. I want to get badges on my black belt. So black belt is just the entry point of, you understand the system. Now you got into the system. I want to master the system. And it's not necessarily, you know, to, well, it is in a sense, but it's not directly trying to be better than be better than them. Although, you can use it like Michael Jordan wanted to be better than everybody. Or more so Kobe. Kobe wanted to be better than Jordan. So you can use it depending on who you are, but realistically it's more about you just becoming a better version of yourself every day. You striving to meet the best version of yourself every day, every single day. So that's the hierarchy of purpose. Uh, motivation, discipline, motivation, discipline, and sacrifice. Motivation, discipline, sacrifice. And I'm not talking about sacrificing people or this ritualistic stuff. I'm talking about because a lot of the times people they think, I need to add things to get better. A lot of the times you have to subtract things. You have to sacrifice something, let go of something to get to that next level. That's what's holding you back. Maybe you could revisit it when you get up here, but for now, you can't carry that weight with you. To meet the best version of yourself, you can't carry that weight with you. So we're gonna talk about that more in the next episode. But again, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, X. We have the new definitive version of In Love with the Chimera coming in weeks. It's gonna be available in weeks. And also give me a call if you want health insurance. If you live in Texas, Florida, Alabama, and Texas, Florida, Texas, Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. Texas, Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. To give me a text if you have insurance or looking for health insurance in those states. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with others, and have a blessed day.